Self-love, it takes commitment, determination, it's challenging, misunderstood and completely underestimated in its power to change lives. Sounds like a massive statement, but one I stand by. What's clear about self-love is the confusion around it. Please forgive the pun. Traditionally, it has been at odds with spiritual teachings on good and right ways to behave. The problem is we've been told all our lives to put others first, so that's why we have and still do. And yet, there's a part of us that needs to look after ourselves, put us first and value who we are without feeling bad about it. This part yearns to be considered, acknowledged and placed before others, but society has other ideas. We all do our best and recognise that each person's best is different according to how they see things. However, self-love is not okay, acceptable or supported in any way. So here's a few myths to put at rest. Selfishness is not self-love. Self-promotion is not self-love. Self-adoration is not self-love. Kindness and acceptance to self is. It's taken me years and lots of angst to get this. My whole childhood was one of exploitation and never being considered, so I guess it's no surprise. But really, the damage was in part due to never accepting, let alone loving myself. The family did not support it, neither did the school, wider community or the church. So, when self-love was being handed out, the door was firmly shut in my face. Simply put, self-love basically equated to selfishness, arrogance, and thinking you were better than others. I never stood a chance, and as a survivor, you wouldn't have either. Over time, what became clear was that I was always hungering after something more. I didn't recognise it as self-love, but what I did notice was that I was feeling resentful, fed up, and annoyed with people when they wanted something else from me. I realised the tank was empty and I needed to fill it up, and soon. When I eventually did, it changed how I saw, well, everything. I also recognised not just the value, but the absolute need for loving myself to be a continuing and crucial part of my life. Without it, I am less, and the inner critic becomes more. Paradoxically, I am not able to be as giving to others. True that. As a survivor, you will notice this in your own life, and repeatedly, many times over. The theory about loving ourselves as being wrong has got to stop. It's damaging and inaccurate, and if you, like me, have taken a while to realise this and want to fix it, here's some simple steps to try. Start off by check in on how you are feeling. Take note of that and decide on an action. Make sure the action you choose fills you up, e.g. getting takeaways instead of cooking, watching Netflix instead of working, walking the beach versus cleaning the car. Allow guilt to leave the building. Tell yourself you deserve this and are giving back to you. Repeat these actions often. As survivors, we're always going to feel self-recrimination and guilt. That's to be expected. But you don't have to accept them back quite as strongly. Now, more than ever, you need to give back to yourself, honour yourself, and well, love who you are. You can't give on empty. That's not going to work. Loving yourself is as important as loving others. The sales pitch from long ago doesn't work anymore. Putting everyone first is just plain wrong. Yes, you have to respect and honour others, and yes, sometimes you need to consider them before you, but all too often that becomes the way instead of the choice. Start choosing you. It's not selfish, wrong, or arrogant. Rather, it is sensible, wise, and pragmatic. Giving to self ensures you have something in you that feels nourished, supported, and valued. You naturally do it for others. How about doing it for you? Go on, I dare you. Start to love you. Many others do.